How's it going, folks? I'm gonna check this first shot out, see how it works, see how it works from here. When I see it later. Wait till you see this. Setup I got going. Look at the still. This we had running yesterday. I didn't really get a proper run in yesterday. I had too much blood pumping through me from dropping that tree and forgot the whole goal of the mission, you know what I'm saying? Alright. This is a special, more special than it actually even looks, okay? I ordered the 3-inch down to a 175. Right? Inch 7.5 off the carb, up to 3, right? But this is also 3-inch, okay? My filter on top. So my intake hose and my filter, same diameter. So I had a what's it called? Tilson carburetor. I had a Tilson velocity stack, okay? It was quite big, 3-inch in diameter, actually, same as ours here. So, to get this to fit together, the velocity stack is right here in between. Top half screwed to half of it, bottom half screwed to the other half. So, that's how it's connected, is velocity stack here. And then she's down to a 175 into the carb. So I just fired it up just to, when I was down the house, make sure she was okay. And it's the first time I got a 4-stroke at this saw since I put the pop-up in it. This here saw, before I run them both, I'll properly tell you. 9-degree ignition advance on this one, okay? Butterflies all done on my carbs. There's more air moving through there than any other 362 carb. Poured it perfectly. I had her part like 3 times. Iron horse. Got a still on there with that same chain I had on yesterday. We only put her through a couple times, so that's got my hand falling on it, which is deadly. And what else? I got it even down to which way my goddamn spark plugs are pointing in these things for the best ignition. You know what I mean? Bang, right there. Spark plugs are gapped, side gapped, all that there stuff. Every little trick you can do is done to these things. So, let's get a little setup going here. I should have done this here before I started, but I got home last night looking at the video. I could have done this here yesterday instead of running pissed up like I did. There's a good test cutting piece right there. Give me a look, I'll see if you can see that. Deadly. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think she's most definitely push some more air through there. quite the contraption.
In there, eh? I want to see if you can see that little one. A little bit. Yeah, you can definitely hear that in there. Deep or something, that's for sure.
cool. Pretty cool. Would I run her all the time? No, I wouldn't. But she's pretty cool regardless. Let her cool down for a minute because that's getting hot. It's getting hotter faster. I noticed with that. It's like it's yeah, I've got her sucking. She's sucking through that. Even though the Venturi exit on the Tillerson velocity stack is bigger, I think it's causing a suction there because I'm getting hot. She's yeah. I'll set her up like I had yesterday. She was pulling hard yesterday. Cool, huh? Worth a try. Definitely worth a try. Can't go run around the woods with the stack hanging off that anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's just a friggin' around type thing right now. This thing. Missing. Give her a lean out. I wonder if she's going to pop first pull like she did yesterday. I can't believe how good this thing is running right now, man. Alright, here we go. We'll take a couple of cuts. Do a couple of doings, you know what I mean? I want to get that in, but let's show this here one off today instead of rushing. Okay. This fully poured. It's been in there like 3 times too on this here one. Velocity stack. Butterflies are done on my carb. 5 to 7 ignition advance pipe. That's got a pop-up still. This here also got a pop-up, little red barn pop-up. And the side gap spark plug in this here one too, also orientated to the proper position. Other than that, probably running summers around 36 to 1 in fuel in oil gas mix. Yeah. That's engineered. That's pretty cool too, how this muffler is. All my things are, they're not regular. Irregular, that's for sure. Okay. We got to pop anyway.
looking for, I think.
I think that's right where I'm looking for. Let's get a different shot. Here, I get this a different look. They're running good. Oh, there's a dude. Some dude asking about, it's been a year since, it's been 2 years since I ported all these saws pretty much. And I've been into them multiple times. You know what I mean? Within that 2 years. But there's a dude asking about, 435, how the 435's holding up after a little bit of time on her, you know what I mean? So, I was gonna take it out with us today, but you got these here going on already. All my saws are fine though, none of them blown up. All original parts except for aftermarket parts that I wanted. Easier to do that. What do you got going there? Yeah, that was muddy up in there, eh? Muddy up in on the backside that log we were cutting. See how clean it is over here? That was a clean side facing the. That's what we were cutting through right there. It's way bigger than it looked from up there. So. I'll get us a couple of rips right here. We'll call it an evening. I've got decorating planned here. Yeah, here, I'll take a couple of rips off this thing. Now they got to cool down for a sec. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Like the 175 was so snug on there that it was tight, couldn't twist it no more, you know what I mean? Like it's on there. And then I put my my clamp on there. But she's on there better than you would actually think it is. Very torquey. It brings up the torque, drops RPM. The way it's set up there now. That's for sure. She's throaty. You can hear it, eh? Very throaty right now. That's that. I ain't even gonna crack no jokes at that. Not even gonna crack a joke at that. Good though. The hotter it is, more fuel it wants me. Right there is going to be a wicked tune. We'll take a couple of cuts and collar good on that tune right here. It's a main glitter up here today. The lag got a little bit shorter. Yeah. And I'm trying to share stuff out because I've got more coming. I've got more combinations coming, if you know what I'm saying. I think that 3 inch is coming off there. Yeah. That's coming off there. It's cool, but she's too high. And you can see she's definitely grunty. But yeah, that was just an experimental setup here. I just want to see what it'd do. Pretty cool. I bet you it'd have been, I should have strapped the 28 on there and let her zing and sing, you know what I mean? These saws like the 28, they get up and zip. They'll grunt and 4-stroke at you all day. But yeah, I got more combinations coming. I know I got the same saws I'm running over and over again, but we've got different setups we're trying out here. There's never been a combination of a Husky Rancher, a 362 and a 590 that have been put through more tests and more tunes and more than these three, I bet you. They're getting there. I've got my money's worth, and I've made my money on these things. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Can't think of anything else I've got to let you know. So, yeah. Once I'll get another combination on these things, and away we'll go. We'll wait on delivery man, I suppose. Have a good one, folks. Catch you later.